Online dating can be a real pain. There are always good and bad sides to online dating, and sometimes men and women have to suffer the consequences of meeting with complete strangers who pose themselves as the opposite of what they actually are. What's happening with Tinder? Here's what happens on Tinder for most men. Men make a Tinder profile, swipe for a few weeks if not days, and then they get discouraged and uninstall the app. Their account still exists for Tinder to pretend its user base is there, but most of those people aren't going to re-download it. This is Tinder embracing sugar dating. Women can easily identify the sugar daddies with this. This enables these sugar daddies to message people who haven't matched with them and make them cash offers. Here's what's happening with Tinder. Tinder stock is crashing, and they're desperate for more male users to register on the app and use it. Think about that. Yep, COVID was the best time for Tinder, but when things got back to normal, their stocks crashed. Now Tinder is coming out with a select membership for $500. Not that the Chads and the 5% of men need it because they can just get a date anywhere. But for $500, only the top 1% of users will be selected. Tinder will then officially label you as a top 1% person if you have paid that amount. In other words, Tinder has developed an easier way for the top ladies to find sugar daddies and the top men to find sugar mommies. I can feel the playing field leveling out already. The curse of online dating. Online dating is a vicious cycle. Men spam women so women miss good possible matches, which makes men spam more. It's a crazy cycle. Tinder has been doing this for years, and the worst part is that they never disclose how many times your profile has been shown. You could be shadow banned and your profile hidden from everyone and still buy subscriptions. Another thing is that they show your profile more often after buying the premium and show it less the longer you have it. Then they offer you a more expensive premium if you want to get it shown more often. Very predatory towards most men on there. The whole reason dating apps don't work is because they ask for your income, height, and weight. They leave very little room for conversation at that point. It's not hard to talk to women in person because there's more mystery about you and you can play the scene however you need to. Taking a broad approach. Online dating apps or search algorithms in general are very powerful tools. Tools of any kind always make the strong people stronger and the weak people weaker. If you're not benefiting from the game, don't play the game. You better take a different strategy, or wait until the algorithms have self-destroyed. I think this is again consistent with the hypothesis of a generational risk aversion trend. And we know what risk they are averting. A risk that destroys men physically, financially, and emotionally. That ends up being a terrible one-sided investment of time and energy that could have been much better spent at the gym, enjoying time with friends or interests, or putting dollars in the bank. Tinder vs. the real world. Tinder is no different than the real world when it comes to male-female interaction. The problem is, on the app, people always shoot for the top no matter what they look like in the mirror, so they're wasting their time going after that small percentage of getting someone who's way out of their range, and ignoring the ones that are on their level. You can't be 5 or 4 sending messages to a 10 and get mad when she doesn't respond. You know that woman wouldn't respond in real life as well. You played yourself. The reality is that if Tinder wants more engagement, they need a way to filter women and men into groups, so it's not just the top 1% of all men getting all the matches. If over 40% of all users were matching with each other, and not just 70% of women matching with the top 10% of men, they might get more engagement. They need to rework the system, but you know they won't. You know, we don't joke around with you guys when we say that women today have become so incredibly selective that even a 1 out of 10 woman wants a 10 out of 10 guy. Someone who is wealthy, tall, fit, and basically dedicated, and devotes his life to serving the woman who chooses him after he has begged her 1,000 times to be with her. The burden on young men. And this is why young men today feel they must be 6 feet tall, make 6 figures, and have 6 inches downstairs to get a girlfriend. And because of this, many men have entirely given up on dating. The concept of family, having a wife by your side on your deathbed and so on, has faded away not only for those who are struggling to find a partner in the dating world, but even for the top 1% of successful men. Do you believe that a woman who married a man because he had money will stay by his side when he's hospitalized or bedridden? Most likely, if that happens, she'll be seeing a personal trainer. Can we take a moment to realize how insane it would be for a man to demand a woman make 6 figures, drive an expensive car, fly him around the world, spend her hard-earned money on him, and have model-level looks with a busty front and a bouncy back, all just to sleep with him, the media and society would have an absolute field day. So it goes without saying that if you aren't the full package, just stay away from dating sites and apps. Nothing but misery will come from it. Also, if a woman turns you down and calls you cheap because you offer to do something inexpensive on the first date, don't take it personally and be grateful for the dodged bullet. It's a very alienating, lonely time for most people. Beyond avoiding social media and dating apps for romance, which will result in them losing some of their toxic power, I can only suggest this. Follow your bliss. It is best to not really chase after women or even look for a mate. I met the most significant quality women in my life by doing what I loved, being creative, engaging with the world, and trying to be the best human being I could be in every way. Not only is that your best chance at finding a suitable mate, but it will also help transform the world into a much better place. And that's certainly needed right now. The bias for women. In my opinion, we as a society don't hold modern women accountable for their actions, choices, and decisions. Like men who have been scrutinized for every single thing and the choices we made since childhood. Other than that, keep your head up and focus on yourself. Do what you can to build your life for the better, and protect it when someone does come along in your life so it doesn't get ruined. Women are over-influenced by popular culture. As much as women want their ideal man to have a certain personality, it is simply the result of social conditioning from Disney and Hollywood films. It's all about material stuff, consumerism, and materialistic notions that revolve all around us. Instead of a man who manages his finances well, Chad and Tyrone are more exciting for the average woman. Tinder and, to a lesser extent, Hot or Not, are the main components of what I like to refer to as Dating 2.0, which was released a few years ago. With this new method of dating, neither men nor women are required to create online dating profiles. Both of them just swipe left for those they dislike and right for those they like. Because most guys close their eyes and swipe to the right to maximize the number of women they may choose from, guys are once again successfully showering women with attention. For the majority of guys, ugly and unattractive women will likewise swipe to the right, particularly if they are a 3, a 4, or below. The Tinder experience for men. I recently read an article that suggested most males flip to the right for every single woman they see. I made the decision to test this theory by doing the same on Tinder to see what kind of outcomes I would receive. And sure enough, I received responses from some of the chubbiest, least beautiful women I had ever seen. If I compare this to my previous strategy where I only swiped right the women that I found extremely attractive, I only received 3 or 4 matches, and I remember swiping at least 50 women. So that's the typical match ratio that guys usually have. But if they swipe right every woman they see, then they have more options to choose from. It's the opposite with women. They just post their profile, sit back, relax, and let the swipes massage their egos one by one. There's one thing Tinder didn't realize when it went about its business. It didn't realize that despite most men who are simps online, there are many who are sick and tired of the bias for women that online dating apps, such as Tinder, have. They don't realize that one day, men are going to say enough is enough, and they'll start to walk away from online dating, just as they're walking away from real-life dating. And that is what led to Tinder's stock crashing, and then for it to come up with these marketing gimmicks to make select VIP profiles. It's not going to work. Just wait and watch. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.